but I'm just going to go over right now the books that we touched upon this year, because I think feeding your mind every single day with material that can help to shift your perspective. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and this is Heartful Way Reiki, where I'm talking about Reiki, meditation, life coaching, yoga, all the things that could help you be strong and empowered in your life. And what I found out in my own life is that we need a consistent spiritual practice every single day in order to withstand the storms of life. And today I'm going to talk about book club. I have a book club with some of my closest girlfriends. We meet every Monday, and I think we started, I want to say last year, the end of last year. But I'm just going to go over right now the books that we touched upon this year, because I think feeding your mind every single day with material that can help to shift your perspective, that can help you go within, to expand spiritually, to really, I've always got from reading a way to really shift my thoughts from sadness or depression or my life is a shit show to one of, oh no, there is hope. It's the way I'm seeing the world. It's the way that I am reacting to what's going on around me. And it was very powerful. I found out that I could just open a book and start leafing through it, and then miraculously, I could walk away 10 minutes later, and I felt like my whole life has changed. And a lot of times I'd come upon books, I'd maybe read them the first time, and maybe some of the material was like way over my head, didn't really get it. And then I'd go back and read the book or pick it up years later, and just something would pop out at me and really help me at that point in my life. So I really value reading, I'm going to say like self-help books. Is it that what they are? Just words from spiritual teachers that give us so much and help us in our lives to be better people, so that we can then give more to the world. Because when we're happy and joyful and peaceful in ourselves, within ourselves, then we can share that aspect with the world, and the world is then healed as well. So let's start off at the beginning of the year. And at the beginning of the year, we started off with A Course in Miracles. We started off with I had a Course in Miracles, the regular text. And if you're not familiar with it, go Google it. This is a self-study program that helps you to shift your perspective from one of seeing the world as a threat, seeing the outside world as like it's coming to get me and you're fearful of it, to one of the only thing that exists is love and peace. And it really helps you to shift your thoughts. It's very, very powerful. It kind of seems kind of like you can go like, oh, is this for real? Is this, but just have an open mind. That's all I ask. So where we started was the Course in Miracles experiment, a starter kit for rewiring your mind and therefore the world, by Pam Grout. Pam has been a student of A Course in Miracles for years, and she took each one of the lessons and wrote a little bit of something about it, kind of like saying how she sees the lesson, and then gives sometimes an inspiring story about how people are actually using, with probably they don't even know it, the content and the themes from A Course in Miracles in their life. And she really focuses on her job and her function in the world is joy and having fun and she will take words that she finds that she's triggered from A Course in Miracles, because there's a lot of should I say biblical references like salvation, and they say God, and some people don't have a very good experience with religion and they might get triggered by that. And if you are, you know what? Just use a different word, figure something out, find the concept, get past that trigger. So we read this for went over this for the month of January. Many of us are continuing with the lessons from A Course in Miracles because it is a one lesson a day, 365 days a year. So this is really, and I've wanted to do it for the longest of times, and I'd start it, drop it, start it, drop it. And it wasn't until I had this book club where everything kind of just came together, and it's like when you're in a group, you're held accountable more or less. And we don't always talk about it each month now because we're past like this, but we kind of it really goes with a lot of the other books that we're reading, because so many spiritual teachers do use a lot of these concepts and they're just putting it in their own languaging. So, and I feel like it's amazing because it's accessible to so many more people that wouldn't read A Course in Miracles. The next book that we read was Doorways to Transformation. And this is by Karen Kinney. And this was just, I felt like she wrote like really short chapters and then gave reflection questions that you could meditate on. And I found it a very interesting journey. I felt her writing was very deeply spiritual and moving. It had a very, that energy of healing within it, I felt. And so some of the chapters are like creating space, life-giving moment, fostering safety. The full description on this is Doorways to Transformation, Everyday Wisdom for the Creative Soul. I believe that even if you don't feel you're creative, you could get something out of this book. So that was Doorways to Transformation. The next book that we read was The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. And I really liked this book. Gabby gives spiritual perspective, and then she would give exercises for you to practice the lessons she's teaching. And I'm a big believer we can read something, yeah, that makes sense. But until we start implementing it into our lives through some kind of practice, we don't really hold on to that little nugget that we've learned. It eventually, I feel like it'll come around, but why not start transforming and shifting sooner than later? She really talks about connecting to source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Really talks about meditation, Kundalini meditation, using mantras and affirmations in your everyday life. But most of all, what I really got from this book was letting go and trusting that the universe is always working for me, no matter what. And sometimes life seems like it's falling apart on you and shit's hitting the fan, but it's all for your greatest and highest good. And maybe sometimes it has nothing to do with you. This just needs to happen to unfold for humanity as a whole. And now we are transitioning into this book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I'm really, really excited. A couple of the ladies in the group have read this before, and they just can't wait to dig into it again. They've gotten great transformational shifts within their lives, and I'm really excited. And I know about Eckhart. I've known about him for years, but really never read anything by him. So I'm really excited. A lot of the books that we're reading have familiar concepts throughout, but it's the way they are written. Sometimes they give examples or lessons from the author's life, or maybe things that they've seen happen to friends or family. And it really shows us how these lessons of transformation really can work and do work within our lives. So if you are looking for something to support you on your journey of transformation, maybe turn to one of these books. And stay tuned, because I'll do this every once in a while, a pile of books that we are looking at, are reading, and have gone through, and I'd love to share them with you. If you've read any of these books, share in the comments below what impact it has made on you. I'll see you next time.